The mood was very somber as the players filed into the Civic Center this afternoon. They were there to discuss the future of their hockey club, a club that experienced tragedy late yesterday afternoon when the team bus hit a stretch of ice, lost control, and flipped into a ditch. Coach Graham James describes the accident.
Most of us blacked out for a couple of seconds, and I know when I came to, the first thing I did was to look at the players at the front, because I thought, naturally that the front of the bus would be the worst, and they were okay. And we started to sort of troop off the bus, and guys kept coming from the back, and we really thought everything was okay. Buses roll all the time and that, and with minimal damage, and so we were just sort of thanking everything that everybody was alive. And then, I guess a couple of guys at the back spotted players that were pinned under the bus, and we knew that it was going to be more serious.
4 players perished as a result of the mishap. The victims were 19-year-old Scotty Kruger of the city, 20-year-old Trent Cressy of Kindersley, 19-year-old Chris Mantika of Saskatchewan, and 16-year-old Brent Ruff of Warburg, Alberta. Today, the players and coaches still couldn't believe the accident happened.
Well, still can't really believe it because, the conditions were, not great, but I played in the league a couple years, and we've traveled in a lot worse condition like that at night, and couldn't really believe it. Something like that, just a freak thing.
Finally got to sleep last night, and then you wake up and you hope that it's a nightmare and it's over, but morning light brings a certain reality with it, and we have to deal with that today and over the next couple of days, and take time to clear up what happened to the boys that were killed, and try and get on track for the guys that are still here.
During the team meeting, Chris Mantika's father and mother arrived to collect their son's jersey and take one last look at the rink, where number 22 always gave 110%.
Had an ambition to play in the Western Hockey League. He reached that ambition. He said he was going to do it. He realized he was very short of talent, but he was sure long on heart, and he was one of our team leaders. In fact, he was the most popular player, I would suppose, on the team.
After the hour-long meeting, the players and coaches emerged, having decided that they will continue to play hockey.
Right now, as it stands, I think we're going to give it a try, and we're going to get back together in a couple of days, and I'm sure we'll be able to put a team on the ice. I don't know how we'll do or anything, but we'll give it a try.
The Broncos are looking at next Friday as the date to start playing hockey again. It will be an away game, and that means another bus trip, one that's sure to bring back memories of that stormy Tuesday afternoon when 4 of their friends lost their lives on this stretch of highway. For Newsline, I'm James Miller. They were all there Sunday afternoon, the players from each team in the East Division, many midget and bantam teams, the families, friends, and teammates of the deceased players, and many, many others came to pay their last respects to the 4 young men who died so tragically December 30th, a date that will forever be remembered by the community of Swift Current and the entire hockey world.
We shall mourn, but with the passing of time, we shall go forward in dedication, ever remembering Scott, Trent, Chris, and Brent. Just as the echo of their voices are hardly silent, we will remember as they gave of themselves in this very arena, playing the sport they so well loved.
Scott Kruger is a player with great vision on the ice, great tenacity, 5'4", 5'5", able to play in a big man's league and a big man's game. I remember Trent Cressy, his first year in the league, top 10 scoring despite being injured. Tremendous hands, ability. Chris Mantika, I would ask the media, please don't call him a self-used enforcer. He was a vital part of our hockey club. He meant a lot to us.
Even though this tragedy has hit the community and the surviving players very hard, an emotional Kurt Lackton vowed the team will continue.
The Swift Current Broncos will continue the season, as I'm sure the boys would have liked. And we're going to miss them very much.
The Broncos will take their first big step this Friday when they'll travel to Moose Jaw to take on the Warriors.
Our team doesn't want all the victories because you guys are feeling sorry for us. We want to go back out. We don't want to ask any quarter, and we don't want to give in. I know that's going to be difficult for you people as well. We've been known as a comeback team this year. And look back, this is our toughest challenge.
For Newsline, I'm James Miller.
I think we're going to win by 2.
And the Broncos will have a good chance of winning if they play good, sound defensive hockey like they did for most of Wednesday night's victory. The key ingredients in that victory were the goaltending of Trevor Kruger and the solid play of defenseman Ian Herbers.
Ian deservedly was first star of the hockey game, and Trevor, I think, was in there as well. So, certainly the defensive play of our club last night helped us get the win.
Prince Albert has the best goals against in the league. And as Coach James says, if Swift Current starts giving up goals in the Raiders building, they're going to lose the hockey game.
You have to realize they had the best goals against the league, so if we start giving up too many goals, we're going to lose the hockey game. We have to keep the goals against down. We've got 3 goals in both games, excluding the empty net goal we've got. So that sort of tells you the area that we're in, and we have to hope that we can keep Prince Albert in that same vicinity.
We've got to worry about defense before offense, and that's what we're doing right now. The offense is producing itself, and the defense is working hard, so it's going all right.
And if they do play a strong game defensively like they did Wednesday night, they'll have a good chance of wrapping up the series back home on Saturday. For Newsline Sports, I'm James Miller. Missed opportunities and defensive mistakes signaled the end for the Broncos Saturday night as their season came to a close. The Raiders scored in the first minute as Dean Braham put the big rebound behind Kruger. They added a shorthanded goal just before the midway mark of the first and were up 2-0. The Broncos closed the gap on a power play marker just over 3 minutes later, but PA netted 2 more as the period ended 4-1 Raiders. Swift Current showed their character in the second as they fought back to tie the game at 4. But then the goal that broke the Broncos' momentum and their spirit. Just 45 seconds after Swift Current had tied it, Darren Kimball threads the needle on the breakaway. PA would score once more in that frame, and the game went to the third. Raiders 6, Broncos 4. Swift Current fought hard in the final period, trying once again to dig down deep and win another one. But it was not to be on that night, as only 1 goal was scored in the third, that going to Prince Albert. The game ended 7-4, the series going to the Raiders in 4 games. The difference was the solid play of Prince Albert's veterans, the team's hard-hitting physical style, and their ability to make the most of their opportunities.
Well, they were physically stronger than us and quite a bit more experienced, and I think in key points in all the games that told the tale. So early tonight we gave it a good effort and could have won the hockey game, but they scored in their opportunities and we didn't. So I think that was basically the difference.
PA was a tough team to play against, first of all, and they proved that last night. They came out really strong, and today they're pretty dominant in the play in that.
We outplayed them in the first game there. Here in the second game, the third game there, it was split. And then here, it could have gone either way. It was tied, and then they pulled ahead with those 2 goals, and we just never got there.
Every time you go up against PA, you go up there, it's going to be a hard-hitting game, and the 2 games up there, they really went after us. But I think we came out pretty good. We came 3 goals down after the first night. We came back, tied it up, and I guess it just wasn't to be.
For more than 1 full minute, the largest crowd of the season stood and cheering for a team that was about to lose a hockey game and a series, but had won the hearts of the fans with their gutsy play over the entire season. After the tragic events of late December, many expected the club to just go through the motions and play out the rest of the season. And who could blame them? Not many people could bounce back from an incident like the one that happened on December 30th. But come back they did. They defied the odds and made the playoffs.
You know, I can't give the guys enough credit for the effort they gave throughout this whole series and for the last half of the season in particular.
These guys are a great bunch of guys. I don't know any guys that can come back better the way we did a second half. You know, everybody sort of counted us out, but we showed them all.
The character on the team is just incredible. You know, I've never played with a better bunch of guys. Coming back from that kind of tragedy, you know, and going on and making the playoffs and doing as well as we did is incredible.
The team had a lot of courage, a lot of heart and desire. It's on and on with those adjectives, you know. And I think the town should be very proud of the Swift Current Broncos for the 86-87 season.
I have the privilege tonight of sitting next to two of the best-dressed coaches in Canada, Don Cherry and Lawrence Spud Fry.
Lots of jokes and lots of laughter were the order of the evening, as those on hand paid $100 apiece to raise money for the Bronco Bus Fund and get a chance to see the very funny and outspoken Don Cherry. Cherry treated the audience to almost 1 hour of non-stop jokes and hockey anecdotes. When asked who will win this year's Stanley Cup, Cherry wasn't sure if he'll go with the Edmonton Oilers again this year.
Well, I don't know. They get many more Swedes, they'll be in trouble. I don't understand that. Well, they got 6 now? That's super. They'll need cattle prods when they go into Philly to get them on the ice.
And he capped off the evening with a story about his favorite goalie of all time, Jerry Cheevers.
Anyhow, this is a true story. We get beat 7-2. 7-2. Jerry's on that, and I can still see him smoking a cigarette, little fat guy there smoking a cigarette there in his little underwear. In comes Harry, screaming and hollering. What's going on, Jerry? We get beat at home 7-2. What's going on? Screaming at him. Very simple. Harry, roses are red, violets are blue. They got 7, we got 2.
Don Cherry appeared free of charge at the benefit. This was his way of helping out a hockey club he very much admires.
I mean, they had a built-in excuse. It was automatic for them to quit. They'd come back. They made the playoffs, and like I said before, I'm happy I came. I really am, and it's an honor for me to be here, actually.
The dinner was a big success in 2 ways. Everyone was thoroughly entertained, and $69,000 was presented to the Broncos to help pay for their new bus.